I ask that question a lot to all the organisations that I speak to, and there's two themes that resonate typically. First one is career progression, and the next one is development opportunities. And every time I go and see a customer, I make it a point of going to Glassdoor and looking at what people that have left the organisation have said about the company. And typically what I read, and it's a real theme across all companies that I see, great company, fun to work with, lack of career progression, lack of development opportunities. And most of the people that leave typically have those comments in their Glassdoor reviews as they left the organisation. So companies are really struggling now to retain that talent and get them excited about staying with the organisation. And you know, those two areas seem to be key to keep getting people to stay and seeing a future in the business that they're at. Yeah, we've put a lot of effort into that because obviously we hear it as a theme all the time. We have a concept in our technology called job fit. What we're seeing, especially with millennials are expecting their managers to show them a path for progression in the organisation. And with any relationship that you have, whether it's a personal relationship or a company relationship, you need to see the future. You need to be able to project yourself into the future and see, is there a future for me here? And if there isn't a future in a relationship, typically that relationship goes away. And it's the same in any organisation and any individual working in that organisation. So we've created a concept called Job Fit, where any individual can go in, they can have a look at any job role in the organisation, they can identify what their gaps in skills, in behaviours, in competencies are, and then they can click on that and they can start to see where the gaps are and develop themselves against those competencies. So managers can, when they have a conversation around career progression, can give them an area to go to so they can start to explore their interests in their areas. So that technology is really getting people excited because it's attracting people to this technology because they want to see where they fit in the organisation and what potential development opportunities they have. The best career advice I got was one of my mentors told me to say yes more than you say no. I'll give you an example. You're in a meeting and we've all seen it before. You know, somebody puts up an idea and the first response from a lot of people is no, that's not going to work, no, I don't think that's going to be too hard. And that immediately sucks the energy out of the conversation and out of the room. And I think if you can say yes, and what about, and yes, how about we do this, and you're all of a sudden people feel like you're interested in their opinions, you can have a discussion, the discussions open up, and people tend to come to you more with new ideas and fresh ideas and include you in their thinking if you're more positive around yes than no. And I'll give you an example. If you think about all the great things that have happened to you in your life, they typically started with you saying yes. If you had a child, you said yes. If you got married, you said yes. Your first job, you said yes. So these are, if you had said no to all those things, where would you be? So if you apply that same principle to your work environment, you say yes more often than no, you're going to get a better response from people and you're going to get an opportunity to develop great ideas and innovation. That's what I like to do. I don't always do it, by the way, but that was the best advice I was given. I unfortunately missed it last year, but one of the things that I found unique about it, even leading up to it and developing some content for our session tomorrow, is that it was very much focused on sharing and collaborating ideas amongst organisations that are doing it, not vendors. A lot of these sessions I go to, vendors are driving the agenda, they're paying money to spruik their content. But in this case, it's really, we were told, and very much focused around get your customers in to talk about their experiences so they can share real life, real world experiences. And I think that's something I notice more than anything in these other events that I go to. It's very much focused around collaboration and sharing ideas, not from a vendor perspective, but from an organisational perspective, and key HR and learning people that can share their ideas and get excited about those ideas and share that passion with everybody else. It varies from organisation and organisation that I speak to, but one that pops to mind all the time is HR are really sometimes a little bit tied to what IT are doing. IT tend to make a lot of decisions around what technology they should be implementing, and a lot of the time they've got their own agendas. They've got agendas around what technology people do we have that have existing technology that can help support the implementation of a technology, what resources do we have, and so those decisions tend to get made around what's best for IT rather than what's best for the individual and how we're going to drive change and learning and behaviours in an organisation. So I think IT struggle with that, one of the things that we try to do is get those two organisations talking together so we can come up with a solution and look at the end user. The end user is the most important person in making a decision around how you want to drive your initiatives around human capital management. And IT should have a place, but I think HR struggle a lot with the politics around IT. Game changing, I think, is the word I wanted to use. I think people are going to come away from this event with game-changing ideas that they're going to take back to their business to start to implement immediately. I mean, I've already seen some quick wins that people can have that can take back and address some of the issues. So game-changing for sure. There's so many smart people in this hotel today that if you can't get a game-changing idea from all these people, then there's a problem. So that would be the thing that pops to mind for me.